I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon, and we will grow. And I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Now, Mercury is now moving in a combust status from like 1 week. From like 12th of September, Mercury has gone into the combustion. That means it has come to a point where it is within a certain degree difference with the sun, and therefore you will not be able to see Mercury in the night sky. That means it is below the horizon, and which also means that the natural behavior of Mercury is not visible, and this is going to impact anyone who has Mercury on Lagna. Mercury is the Mahadasha Lord, or if you are a Gemini or Virgo moon sign or ascendant, or if your majority of planets, your Mahadasha Lord is with Mercury or in Mercury nakshatras. We'll discuss that in detail, but before that, do not forget to subscribe, because your subscription is very valuable. It keeps you and me stay connected and also spreads the word of Vedic astrology. Also share the video among family and friends. If you want to book a consultation, you can book it directly from my website, or you can just drop me an email. All the email IDs and details are in the description box. If you want to book a Kundli PDF or a numerology PDF to get a brief idea about your horoscope, which is a system generated report, but a good one, a 300 plus page report for Kundli PDF, you can book that from the description box. It gives you a kind of a head start in the world of Vedic astrology. Now, let's start the analysis of what is happening with Mercury and what is actually going on towards the end of September, when Mercury, Ketu and Sun comes in Graha Yuddha. Let's discuss. Mercury is the planet of communication, Lord of Virgo, Lord of Gemini zodiac sign, and Mercury is in Leo. Although Sun has now moved out of Leo and has moved to Virgo, there is a Sun-Ketu conjunction happening. But Mercury is right now completely under the impact of a retrograde Saturn. How? Saturn is directly aspecting Mercury from the sign of Aquarius. So now there is a Buddha and Shani opposition, which only means that it is going to drag you to the old memories, make you revisit your past. You would want to correct a lot of old things. You will be regretting certain decisions that you have taken, or you would want to, undo certain things, and you would be willing to, change a lot of things in life, given a chance. All the things, these emotions are part and parcel of Mercury transit. But when Mercury goes combust, this Mercury's experience of Saturn effect goes away. That means you won't be able to feel that direct impact of Saturn on your consciousness, which means a lot of people, especially those who have a weak or debilitated Mercury, may not even understand what's happening. To them, these conclusions that you will draw can be like an illusion, as if you are seeing a mirage and you're thinking that the problem is arising from that area of life, but the reality may be totally different than what it is. Why? One of the reasons is that when Mercury is getting combust, one, its Lord Sun is with Ketu, and it is under direct aspect of Shani Dev, and this is going to create certain level of confusion and darkness. Although Venus in Libra is a much needed relief here. Venus in Libra is something which is so important to balance this equation that we often ignore the role of Venus in our life. It can be, you have to understand like this, that in spite of all the trouble, if there is a little relief, like imagine somebody who has worked really hard, does not have a lot of money, but gets a cold glass of water, that instant, trickles down and calms your nerves, and you can judge the situation better. So it goes a long way. That is the role of Venus in Libra. I've uploaded a video on Venus in Libra. Do watch that. The link will be in the description, and you can see the the thumbnails here, and you can explore that video after this. Now Buddha will move in the Virgo zodiac sign on 23rd of September. When Mercury enters Virgo, this is a Mercury, Sun and Ketu conjunction. Now allow the transit to move ahead. On 29th and 30th of September, Mercury, Sun and Ketu comes in strong connection. They are hardly separable, and this is called Graha Yuddha. Not only Mercury will be under deep debilitation, but it is a Ketu conjunction also. Now, all this is happening in Virgo. Virgo is the point of exaltation of Buddha. And on top of that, this entire arrangement is having an aspect of Jupiter. Jupiter is aspecting it. That means this is a time of learning. This is a time when Mercury will give you an edge in your life, and you would want to excel, you would want to proceed with new knowledge. It's a great time for someone who want to do certification, who want to learn, who want to do cross training in different other aspects of their career, and someone who wants to achieve a lot through the power of data analysis. Ketu's way of nitpicking things, Ketu's way of going to the root, Mercury's exalted position, its information and the power of the Sun, it kind of exposes a lot of secrets. So don't be surprised if a lot of secrets gets exposed from many areas of the world, and you will be surprised how and with what level of intelligence things can be done. This is going to create a lot of child prodigies for kids who are born around this time, and in your life this is going to be one, I will say, week where you need to be careful on one factor: your communication skills. Buddha can do wonders if you use the right words at the right time. But if you choose the right word, the right sentence at a wrong time, the entire context changes, and this Ketu can create a sudden detachment out of nowhere. And you would be surprised by the amount of, you can say, reaction coming from the other side. I'm not saying it will happen with this level with everyone, but you try to understand the gravity of the situation. Now combine the Venus in Libra. Venus is trying hard to balance. That means it's not that negative. This only means correction measures are supposed to be taken. If you are sorry about something, then seek apology. Apologies will go a long way when Sun, Mercury and Ketu are together. Also, this may mean that this can affect your transactions. Certain transactions, say cash movement, or some technical issues might come in your business or companies, especially in communication, IT and communication and service-based industries. So you will have to take necessary measures if you have not. Focus more on how to streamline the process. It is a very process and strategy oriented transit. And when you combine Sun, Mercury and Ketu, you are kind of making things very digitized. You are making more streamlined and more compartmentalized. This is not the time of being very emotional. This is the time of being very practical. This is the time of taking things one at a time, and then just like digitally you fit things into their respective manner, a lock and key kind of system happens, and this gives you a lot of relief, but provided you are not being overwhelmed by the emotions or work. If you are an Aries moon sign, this is going to impact your prarabdha karma. You will not understand your role, and suddenly your role in your organization or your role in your life may transform. Whatever you are doing, you are now asked to do something else. For Taurus, it can be an impact on your 5th house. That means an impact on your stomach or your connection with your children. So be very careful how you are communicating with your juniors and how you are communicating with your children. You can suddenly become cold or silent. Gemini is definitely getting impacted. If you are a Gemini moon sign, then this is happening in your 4th house. This is going to impact your happiness, and you would suddenly not like what you were running after. You would want something else. The question is, the grass is always greener on the other side. Are you taking some action to move into the other side? Because if you are, then you need to rethink. For Cancer moon sign, Karka Rashi, this is the third house. A third house means you have to constantly judge your actions. You have to maybe take a step back, but this can be a transit of quitting. You may suddenly quit what you're doing. Now, quitting a bad thing is okay, but if you're quitting something because you're frustrated, you be very careful. For Leo, if you're a Leo moon sign, this is happening in your second house. This can impact your family, your finances, your available resources, and which also means that it is a great time to discard that is unnecessary. If you have hoarded a lot of stuff, time to remove that stuff now. For Virgo, this is happening on your moon sign, on your Chandra Lagna, which means mentally you can be in a very different zone, like all over the place. So you need to collect yourself and focus your mind one at a time, like one task at a time. Otherwise, you will be pulled apart into 10 different places. And that is why you are forcing yourself to go into some kind of relaxation, because you need that break. For Libra, this is happening in the 12th house. Although it's happening in the 12th house, it kind of increases your expense, but Venus in the first house balances a lot of negative effect of this transit. Praying to Bhagwan Ganesh is going to be a very good remedy. This will surely bring travel and career changes. For Scorpio, this is happening in your 11th house. Now, being the 11th house, this is targeting your gains, your profits. Suddenly, you may brook out of the box profits and you will be surprised, but thinking this is going to sustain is impractical. If you are gaining something during this time, enjoy the gain and invest somewhere positive. Venus is in your 12th house, which means anyways expenses are on the cards. You have to ensure that your income stream does not get cut off while you're spending money. For Sagittarius, this is going to be happening in the 10th house. So if you're a Sagittarius moon sign, a 10th house means how you decide your career, mentally how you are connected with your job, and you are going to get disconnected. Something will happen and you will be like, you want to be in some place else. Good time to think about changing your job or role. For Capricorn, this is the transit in the 9th house. A combust Mercury along with Ketu and Sun is going to be a little bit challenging for you. This can be a time when you are taking a leap of faith. You are trying to experiment with your life. Everything is fine as long as you are managing your role confidently and you are securing yourself before you take that leap of faith. For Aquarius, this is going to be a time where obviously it's the 8th house, so you have to be ultra careful during this time. Not only your 8th lord is combust, but it also means that you might go into sudden depression. You might suddenly feel detached and you might suddenly feel more concerned about the career of your life partner. Although Venus in the 9th house will give a lot of relief, it will give you a lot of patience, but 8th house is 8th house. Praying to Bhagwan Ganesh, chanting Ganesh Atharva Shirsh is a very good remedy. And if you want to sell off some old property that is stuck, if you want to break an investment, well, that might be possible. So when you are seeing an expense and you are seeing that you have to break your FD or you have to break your, or you have to sell off some property, prepare a long-term plan, but don't jump into an immediate sell. For Pisces, this is going to be a time where it impacts your marriage, your relationship. This can break relationships because Mercury do not perform well naturally in the 7th house. Ketu is also like you are giving up something for someone. So it's more like a transit of sacrifice. It's a transit to learn. It's a transit to do for others. It's more like an emotional and sentimental investment, doing things consciously for others. And if you do that, you will be in a very great shape. Remember, your ascendant lord is watching. So everything is happening under your supervision. Nothing is forced. Everything is via will and with your own choice. Here, I will say that if you want to demerger from a business, break a business partnership, diversify, it's a very good time. It can be like a force multiplier. Chanting Ketu mantra is going to be a very helpful way of managing these energies, and Mercury is going to stay here for a long time. Remember, Mercury is exalt, so actually the result will be good, but you need to cut off the unnecessary. So it's a great time to cut off what's not needed, and it's like mandatory also. That was all about the 12 ascendant. Now coming to a little bit of remedy. Now here chanting Ganesh Atharva Sheersh, doing Ganapati Havan, Ganesh Puja, chanting the mantra Vakratund Mahakaya Suri Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada is going to be very helpful. And also, be it children or elderly, chanting Saraswati mantra, praying to Mata Mahasaraswati is going to be also extremely helpful, and also helping people who are unwell, who are having eyes related issue, eyesight related issue, will also be a kind of remedy that will be helpful. On Wednesday, donate green color food items, donate some cash to someone who is in need, and you also wear a lot of green color. Avoid green and grey combination during this time. I hope this helps. We'll bring more such videos. Try to make this video in a very casual manner. Tell me if you like. More such videos will come soon. Stay tuned.